Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I heard a couple of things yesterday when I was hearing from a devotee, very nice devotee, very advanced devotee, and it was Radharani's appearance day yesterday, and but this wasn't specifically about Radharani. This was about the holy name. There were a group of devotees, and one of the people in the group asked, what is roughly a translation of the Hare Krishna mantra? Who does Rama refer to? Is it Balaram? Is it Parashuram? Is it Ramachandra? Who does it refer to? It's Rama. And the way the devotee answered was very nice. I liked it a lot. He said Rama is Krishna. So Rama can refer to Parashuram, or can refer to Balaram, or can refer to Ramachandra, because they're all Krishna. But basically, Rama, the way to understand that sound vibration, Rama, is the reservoir of pleasure. Rama, or Krishna, the reservoir of pleasure. Rama. I haven't heard that in quite some time, but that was, I remember hearing that early on. Rama means reservoir of pleasure. So then I was remembering a way to understand Krishna, personality of Godhead, his name, Krishna. Krish refers to birth, and Na refers to death. No death. Na. Okay, wait. Krish refers to birth, and Na is a negative added on the end. So Krishna roughly is no more birth and death. No more birth and death. And Rama, the reservoir of pleasure. And Hare addresses the devotional energy of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah, I really like that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. It's not that Krishna isn't a person. He's definitely the personality of Godhead. But roughly the name can be understood that way also. No more birth and death, Krishna, and Ram, reservoir of pleasure. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. What I'm noticing is the truth is the truth. Whoever speaks it, repeats it without changing it, it always has value because it's always the truth. But when the speaker has realization, personal realization, when they speak the truth, it's not just the truth, it's the spirit and the truth. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So a lot of things that I've heard from different devotees who may not have had a whole lot of realization, but enough realization to recognize the truth and try to repeat it, the messages of Godhead. So I'm hearing that. But now I'm hearing from a particular devotee who has realization. So all those things that I've already heard over the years, they take on new light because of the spirit of the presentation. The spirit. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It's like Krishna is the truth. And the way to the truth is through Hare, the spirit of devotion. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So this devotee, yesterday when they were speaking, there's something else that really stuck out because it's something that I've heard at least 1,000,000 times. If one offers me with love and devotion a fruit and flower, leaf or water, I will accept. And Krishna is not interested particularly in the cauliflower pakora or the chutney in and of itself as an item of sense gratification. He's not, he wants the devotion, and if there's devotion there, then he'll accept the offering. And I've heard it put another way too, that he really doesn't have any appetite for those things unless there's devotion. If offered with love, then he gets an appetite. So given that, and it being Radharani's appearance day yesterday, this devotee related it to the mood of loving relationship that if you go to, say, Vraj Leela, Vrindavan, where it's very intimate and personal, and then if you take it to since it is Radharani's appearance day yesterday, this mood of conjugal relationship between the spirit of devotion in her personal form, Radha, and Krishna. We look at it in terms of the verse in Gita, if one offers me with love and devotion, I will accept. Then the relationship, the way he was explaining it, was very nice. It's not one of sense gratification. It's one of devotion. It's the devotion, and it's expressed by one's actions. And then he compared it to a relationship in the material world between a male and a female. And they, oh, I love you. But it's not exactly I love you. It's I love the sense gratification that I get from you. I love the sense gratification I get from you. More or less. Unless, of course, it's a transcendental, spiritual relationship in God consciousness of one form or another. Then there's going to be a different kind of love there. But basically in the material world, you say, I love you. I love the sense gratification I get from you. Oh, I love it. I love you. I love you. I love you. Hare Krishna. But that's not the relationship between Radha and Krishna. Krishna is accepting the devotion, the love. Because Krishna is not material. His senses aren't material, they're spiritual senses. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So when this devotee speaks, he speaks so clearly and plainly, without a lot of static and a lot of clutter and a lot of thrills and chills. He doesn't speak like that. It's not an entertainer. Let me entertain. He doesn't speak like, he just speaks very, very clearly, distinctly, with devotion. It's very nice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Couple more mantras and then we'll go back to Krishna book. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Krishna says in the Gita, everything that you do should be done as an offering to me. 24 hours a day to enter into this mood of loving service, this mood of devotion, that everything can be offered, all our activities. And it becomes clear, those things that get in the way of devotion to Krishna. It becomes clear what activities to avoid. Hare Krishna, after a while it becomes clear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Two basic rules. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. and the corollary. Accept everything favorable for Krishna. Reject everything unfavorable. And reject means let it go. Reject doesn't mean hang on to it and beat it to death. It means just let it go. You can't use it. Let it go. It's gone. Maybe it's for somebody else. Good luck to them. And Krishna. To reject it doesn't mean, you just hang on to it and keep pounding away at it. No, it means let it go. It's gone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, she had way to get at her. Sri Vasudeva, go where about them. Okay. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Śrivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Śrivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. So this is the summary study of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Summary study by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Krishna 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 He, Krishna 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 He, Krishna 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 Rakshamam, Krishna 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 Paimam, Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshamam, Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Paimam. And I believe that is some mantras that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would chant when he was traveling. And it's from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, 7, text 96. Okay, this is chapter 84. Spiritual instruction for Vasudeva and return of the 6 dead sons of Devakī by Lord Kṛṣṇa. So everyone was at Kurukshetra for the unusual solar eclipse, and when everything was winding down and all the saints and sages and demigods and great personalities were all leaving, just before they left, Vasudeva begged everyone to please allow him to perform a sacrifice. And his reasoning was that he was Krishna's father, and he didn't want to take Krishna in a familiar way. He wanted to have the understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He wanted to make sure that he didn't become familiar with Krishna, and because that's Vasudeva's mood. So they performed the sacrifice, and everyone went home feeling very satisfied. The members of the Vishnu family saw all their friends and visitors departing and observed that the rainy season was approaching, and they decided to return to Dwarka. They were fully satisfied, for they regarded Krishna as everything. When they returned to Dwarka, they began with great satisfaction to describe the sacrifice performed by Vasudeva, their meeting with various friends and well-wishers, and various other incidents which occurred during their travels to the places of pilgrimage. So this is chapter 84, spiritual instruction for Vasudeva and return of the 6 dead sons of Devakī by Lord Kṛṣṇa. It is a Vedic custom that the junior members of the family should offer respects to the elderly persons every morning. The children, or the disciples especially, should offer their respects to the parents or the spiritual master in the morning. The pursuance of this Vedic principle, Lord Kṛṣṇa and Balaram used to offer their obeisances to their father, Vasudeva, along with his wives. One day, after having returned from the sacrificial performances of Kurukshetra, when Lord Kṛṣṇa and Balaram went to offer their respect to Vasudeva, Vasudeva took the opportunity of appreciating the exalted position of his 2 sons. Vasudeva had the opportunity to understand the position of Krishna and Balaram from the great sages who had assembled in the arena of sacrifice. He not only heard from the sages, but on many occasions he actually experienced that Krishna and Balaram were not ordinary human beings, but were very extraordinary. Thus he believed the words of the sages that his sons, Krishna and Balaram, were the Supreme Personality of Godhead. With firm faith in his sons, he addressed them thus: My dear Krishna, you are the Sat-Chit Ananda Vigraha, Supreme Personality of Godhead, and my dear Balaram, you are Śukadeva, the master of all mystic powers. I have now understood that you are eternal. Both of you are transcendental to this material manifestation and to its cause, the Supreme Person Mahavishnu. You are the original controller of all. You are the rest of this cosmic manifestation. You are its creator, and you are also its creative ingredients. You are the master of this cosmic manifestation, and actually, this manifestation is created for your pastime only. The different material phases from the beginning to the end of the cosmos, manifest under different time formulas, are also yourself, because you are both the cause and effect of this manifestation. The two features of this material world, the predominator and the be dominated, are also you. And you are the supreme transcendental controller who stands above them. Therefore, you are beyond the perception of our senses. You are the supreme soul, unborn and unchanging. You're not affected by the 6 kinds of transformations which occur in the material body. The wonderful varieties of this material world are also created by you, and you have entered as the Supersoul into each living entity and even into the atom. You are the maintainer of everything. He offers a lot of prayers. He keeps going. The vital force, which is acting as the life principle in everything, and the creative force derived from it, are not actually independent, are not acting independently, but are dependent upon you, the Supreme Person behind these forces. Without your will, it cannot work. Material energy has no cognizance. It cannot act independently without being agitated by you. Because the material nature is dependent upon you, the living entities can only attempt to act. But without your sanction and will, they cannot perform anything or achieve the result they desire. Hare Krishna. I'm going to cut it short today. These prayers go on and on. Hare Krishna. What is surprising is that Vasudeva still relates to Krishna as his begotten son, even though he sees all of this completely transcendental, the living, the super soul and all living beings. Time, your source of all creation. But you're my son. That's amazing. It reminds me of the lifting of Govardhan Hill. And what was amazing there was actually not that Krishna was lifting this entire mountain, just a little boy. I don't know how old he was, maybe 6, something like that. Was lifting the entire mountain with the little finger of his, everything's reversed, this is my left hand. With the little finger of his left hand, he was lifting an entire mountain. And thousands of people and animals from Vrindavan, the cows and everybody, birds, everybody was under there, while Indra was having a rampage in anger, sending torrents of rain and hurricanes and winds and storms. A Samvantarka cloud comes at the dissolution of the universe. Everybody, it was really something. And Krishna's holding this mountain, a mountain. Everybody's under it. But they're still thinking that he's a little boy. And some of the men, they thought, he's going to get tired, his hand's going to shake. We need to help. And so they're taking the sticks and staffs that they use for cow herding, and they're trying to help him by holding the mountain up with the staffs. But they're still thinking of him as the child of Nanda and Yasoda, the little cowherd boy Krishna. So Vasudeva is doing something like that, and he's seeing Krishna's actual position. But it's not disturbing his devotion and loving mood for Krishna, personality. It's taken birth as his son. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. That's quite a balancing act. That's a kind of illusion. It's Yogamaya. Material world, we're all in Mahamaya. We're an illusion too, based on the material body. That's a different kind of illusion. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vasudeva. King Vasudeva is my son. Is my son. Krishna and Balaram are my sons. And everyone's accepting. Yes, they're your sons. Krishna chose Vasudeva and Devakī as his parents. Because Krishna chose them. And everybody, oh yes, the son of Vasudeva and Devakī. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. It's not based on a material body, it's based on devotion. Devotional mood. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ah, Krishna. Ah, Krishna.